Starts. Cab chat is back up again after a while. So, as we already, everyone's got their own problems, but I met again the lady here, the Sycamore lady, the first video I recorded with her, so I got the chance. I'm really lucky one. So him and her both again, and we were chatting, and I asked her if I can record all this valuable information or history, glimpse of history that she obviously this is senior citizen know better than us, and we can get like any advice or any piece of information from their experience. So here we are back again. You are welcome again. So what would you please tell us how was look like when you first start working in the 1960s, or what was the wages, or how was those days?
I first started work when I was almost 15, when I left school.
Okay.
And I went to work in an office, doing office work, and the wages were only £1.10, which would be £1.50 in this day and age. And out of that you had to pay a shilling for your tax and 5 and 7 pence for your national insurance. So you were left with just over £1 for your own money.
Okay, so that's £1 and 50 shillings, yeah?
£1 and 50 pence.
50 pence, that's weekly?
Yes.
Okay. So what was the rent or mortgage look like those days?
Well, in those days,
yeah.
You see, obviously I would still be living at home at 15.
Yeah.
But the rents were usually about either 7 and 6 or 10 shillings, which would be 37.5 pence or 50 pence a week, which doesn't sound a lot now, but in those days it was, because it took half of people's wages.
So to make them, like for the new people, they don't know about the shilling, obviously.
Yes.
So if 1 shilling is like 5p, 5
Yes,
pence?
one shilling is 5p.
5p. But that was really good money. 1 shilling has got the power.
Yes.
You can buy plenty of stuff on that one.
That's right, yes.
Oh, that's incredible. So what do you think? Like, other than that, do you have any support from like the government, any benefits or housing or universal credit or all that stuff coming up?
No, there was no benefits at all. The only people that had a benefit was if a lady was widowed, she would get 10 shillings, which is the equivalent to 50 pence a week as her pension. So that would leave her to have to go out to work to earn some money to be able to keep her family.
So basically both parents or partner or both of them have to work hard to if they've got kids for living.
That's right, yes, because in those days you only got the family allowance for the second child, not for the first.
So not for the first, nothing.
No.
So the second you get something.
You got 7 and 6, which is 37.5 pence in this day and age's money.
So pretty much you have to still work, innit? So.
Oh yes, yes.
So people those days, well, how they were? Like, how was your feeling that time when there was not really benefit, nothing? So how was your feeling? You were still feel I'm alright, like happy, satisfied?
If you had a job, you were happy because you knew that you could earn your money to last you, and you got paid weekly. So that money would last you for that week, and the thing that you would do first is pay your rent, and then you'd buy your coal, and if you had electric, you'd put aside money for your electric. A lot of people used to have meters, which you used to put money in the meter to get your electric or your gas as well.
But with that wages, was it enough for like get through the week?
For a single person it would be, but men, they used to work in factories.
Yeah.
And they were able to work what they called piecework. So that meant that they would if they were working in an engineering factory,
Yeah.
they would press out things on a machine, and it may be that they did it. You did 100 of them. If you did 100 in an hour, then you got extra money for doing it. You know, and of course it made people work harder.
Oh, gotcha now. But it's more easy to get the job if you are leaving today, so you know that in a couple of days you're gonna get a new job. Or
Yes, you could get, if you left a job today,
Yeah.
you could go out tomorrow and find a job, because there were so many different factories around but right across England. You had engineering, you had the wool industry, you had Courtaulds who made the nylon and the silks. You had paper mills. There was so much industry in this country that we haven't got now.
that we're talking about 1960s around
That's
that
right.
sort of area.
1960 is when I left to go to work.
So where you were which was that area? Somewhere in London or?
I was in a little country town called Braintree, which is Essex, and that is near Chelmsford.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay. And when did you move here in Aveley for to run Sycamores?
I moved to Aveley in 1977 when I got the job at the Sycamores, caring for the older people.
Yeah, as we know that you work here for over 30 years, something like that.
35 years
35.
I worked there for Thurrock Council.
Yeah, and you retire and you still living here, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
they've allowed me to stay there.
So those days it was hard, innit? When you got the partner and it's not there, you are on your own and you have to raise your kids. You know, as a mother, what was your feeling that time if something happened?
If a person couldn't go physically out to work, they used to take in homework, which was usually to do with sewing or making different things. My mother used to make gloves.
All right, with the netting things.
They used to cut the gloves. All came cut out ready,
Yeah.
and then she would have to sew them all up, all the fingers and the thumbs, all the gloves. She used to have to sew up, and they used to pay her a certain amount of money for each pair of gloves that she made. And a lot of people did sewing. There would be a factory, instead of having, you know, a factory with machines in making clothes.
Yeah.
They would send them out to ladies who would do the sewing in their own homes, and they would get paid per article that they made.
So was that enough? She could have she can have living on that one, like sewing and all that stuff. So
If
working
they-
in those.
Well, if they worked hard at it, they earned enough to get
To
by.
get through, you get by, yeah.
Yes, and of course, the other thing is that people's aspirations weren't as they are now. People were quite happy to live a quiet life and didn't expect to have all the luxuries that people have these days. We didn't have washing machines. We had a boiler, and you had a mangle that you put the clothes through to get the water out of them, and things like that. There wasn't the same mechanical things that people have nowadays in their homes.
So what's your general view about nowadays, about this generation? Well, do we mourn too much, or we all right, or what's your personal experience, your personal take on that one?
I think we do moan too much, because when I think about how things were when I was younger, we didn't have a lot, but people were happy and people would help one another.
There was more social life,
More-
face to face and all that stuff.
More community spirit.
Community
definitely,
spirit,
yes.
that's it. Okay.
if you knew your neighbour was in trouble, you'd go and help them. If you knew that they hadn't got a lot to eat, you would share what you had with them.
You still go for this charity, something. What is this one? Can you briefly
What, the
explain?
Salvation Army?
Yeah,
The
please.
Salvation Army is a church, but we also do community work that's looking after people who are not able to look after themselves.
Yeah.
We try and help people that are homeless and people that have everyday problems. We do it.
So the doors are open for like everyone.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yes. We try to help as many people as we can. It's not easy sometimes.
Yeah,
But,
I understand that one. Yeah.
each week those are members of the
Salvation
Army. We give our what we call a tithe, which is a certain amount of money which we say we will give each week, which goes to help those that we need. We have, and we have warm hubs where people can go and sit and have a cup of tea and a cake or whatever, And in Grays we've got a shower room where people can go and have a shower.
So how long you been with them, like as?
Since I was 10 years old.
Oh, that's long
So that's
time.
70 years.
So that's long commitment as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh man. So that's it. We had again this lovely lady with us. So glimpse of history. So hopefully we're gonna get back again her, listen her, get her like what she telling us for her experience, and get motivated from her. So she nearly 80 years. She's already 80 or nearly 80.
No, nearly.
Nearly. So God bless her. So hopefully we all do our work, looking after each other and neighbors and all that stuff. Have a good time.
Thank you.